Hello, and welcome to Methanol's shipboard methanol safety video. Methanol Corporation is the world's largest methanol producer and marketer, with an extensive distribution system supplying approximately 1/4 of the world market. Methanol is proud to be a responsible care company. Responsible care is the umbrella under which we manage our safety, health, environment, and community programs that protect our employees, customers, and communities in which we operate. Shipping is by far the preferred way to distribute methanol worldwide. Ship's personnel, such as yourselves, handle dangerous petrochemicals all of the time. But what do you know about methanol? We are asking you to watch this video so that your practices around methanol will be safe. Serious incidents involving methanol have resulted in significant damage to vessels and loss of lives. Don't let this happen to you. Look, learn, and do, and you will be safe for many more voyages. In this video, we plan to show you some of the ways to keep you safe while working around methanol. You will learn what methanol is and some of the key risks associated with handling it. We will also show you some of the things you can do to reduce the risk of personal exposure, fire, or release into the environment, and how to manage the consequences of such an event. First up, what is methanol? Methanol is a petrochemical comprised of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. It is a clear, colorless liquid that mixes completely with water and has a faint alcohol odor. It is used as a building block for many everyday chemicals and products. There are a number of risks associated with methanol. It is poisonous. It burns easily and its vapors can explode. And it can harm the environment. Personal exposure to methanol may occur through skin absorption or contact, breathing in vapors, or swallowing. Basic safety precautions to avoid methanol exposure include: clearly mark containers of methanol and keep them closed when not in use. Never sniff a chemical to determine what it is, and don't use your nose as a gas detector. Never drink methanol. Always wear the appropriate personal protective equipment for the task being done. Another risk factor of methanol is that it is flammable. Methanol fires are particularly dangerous because the flames are difficult to see in daylight. Heat waves rising from the fire or other nearby materials catching fire may be the only visible sign of a daylight methanol fire. Some basic safety precautions to prevent fire when working around methanol are: no smoking or open flames of any kind. Use intrinsically safe electrical equipment and non-spark producing tools. Remove all ignition sources from the vicinity. Remember that methanol flames are hard to see. At all stages of transport and distribution, methanol must be stored securely and handled responsibly. This preserves the quality of the product and minimizes the risk to people and the environment. Methanol is poisonous to plant and sea life. Methanol spills originating from a ship cannot be recovered from surrounding waters. Methanol should never be discharged to the ocean. To stay safe when working around methanol, you need to wear the right equipment for the job you are doing. That equipment must be in good condition and ready for immediate use. How you leave equipment is how you find it, so it is always ready to use in case of an emergency. So now you know how to keep yourself safe. Let's put it to the test. Your ship is empty and preparing to arrive at the loading port for methanol. Don't take shortcuts or risks. Follow the safety procedures at all times, during arrival, cargo transfer, and departure. While at sea, the preparation of tanks for receiving product requires special attention to personal safety. Entering an enclosed space has hidden risks. Vapors may be present, and you might be in an environment that is not gas-free. Take extreme care when climbing in and out of the tank, as it is easy to slip. Spot cleaning of the tanks may be required to meet the product specification as determined by the wall wash. All cleaning equipment needs to be confirmed safe, including electrical continuity to eliminate static discharges. And always have backup personnel and response equipment on standby outside of the tank. Wall washing is also an important part of preparing the tanks for product, but has its risks as well. Make sure a tank atmosphere check is carried out, your paperwork is in order, and the responsible personnel informed. Never enter the tank without wearing the correct protective equipment, and handle the product samples with care at all times. With your tanks clean, the ship is now ready for cargo transfer. Prior to loading, methanol vessels should be inspected for cleanliness and mechanical soundness. Equipment must be in good condition across the entire ship, and all safety requirements, including emergency response equipment, must be in place.
Hello, Chief. Good to meet you. Chief, the fire monitor on the north side of the loading arm is in the down position. Could you have it?
All mechanical and contamination concerns need to be resolved promptly and thoroughly before any cargo transfer can commence. The cargo surveyor will determine that the tank is suitable to accept the cargo. If a wall wash is required by the surveyor, carry out all the parameters previously covered for the pre-arrival check for wall wash. And if all prior checks and cleaning have been done effectively, approval to commence transfer will be granted. Now we are ready to transfer cargo. It is vitally important that there is a fully sealed connection between the loading arm and the manifold. Only when the connection is secured can cargo transfer begin at a very slow rate. The pressure will gradually be brought up until the agreed transfer rate is achieved. Whether loading or discharging methanol, the process must be continually monitored. Someone must be stationed at the manifold at all times to ensure that the connection remains sound, there are no leaks, and the line pressures are within acceptable limits. Access to the area is controlled. The officer of the watch and/or chief officer will be manning the cargo control room throughout the transfer operation. All cargo transfer parameters, including rates, quantities, pressures, and temperatures, are to be continuously monitored. Communication with shore personnel must be maintained at all times, and the cargo control room should never be left unattended. Other areas of monitoring include pressure gauges, PV valves, drain cocks, shore monitoring, hard arm envelopes, and mooring. When all cargo transfer has been completed, you can proceed with departure preparations. With all safety precautions in place and the vessel under closed conditions, the ship's cargo surveyor will conduct the final ologing and sampling to confirm that the product is on spec prior to departure. All samples must be stored safely and securely for the duration of the voyage. Once all conditions are met and paperwork is in order, the ship can depart. Even with the most stringent methanol safe handling practices in place at all times, there is still a chance that an incident may occur that will affect people or the environment. So it is important to know how to respond quickly, responsibly, and effectively. Personal exposure to methanol can be life-threatening. If a person has been exposed to methanol, they must be treated immediately. Do not get methanol in your eyes. Blindness or eye damage can result. If you splash methanol in your eyes, flush thoroughly with gently running water for a minimum of 15 minutes, lifting upper and lower lids. Do not get methanol on your skin. If you do, remove any contaminated clothing and wash the exposed skin with generous quantities of soap and water. Don't breathe methanol vapors and never swallow methanol. If you suspect someone has swallowed it, do not induce vomiting. In all cases of personal exposure, obtain medical attention immediately. In the event of responding to a methanol spill, ensure you are wearing the proper protective equipment. Contain the spill and prevent non-protected individuals from accessing the area. Collect as much of the methanol as possible with explosion-proof vacuum equipment. Small spills should be cleaned up with a non-flammable absorbent. Methanol-contaminated materials should be treated as hazardous waste and be disposed of accordingly. Because methanol is flammable, it is critical to do everything possible to prevent a fire from occurring. Eliminate sources of ignition at all stages of cargo and ship operations. For example, the use of impact tools must be strictly controlled. The permit system on your vessel is there to help ensure the correct and safe choice is always made when performing activities around methanol. If you suspect a methanol fire has occurred, remember that methanol burns without a clearly visible flame. Never run. You could run into the fire. Stay calm and approach the fire with extreme caution. There are a number of ways to extinguish a methanol fire, but discretion and judgment must be used to determine the relative size of a fire. The most effective extinguishing methods are dry chemical powder for smaller fires, firefighting foam for large fires. Water may be used for both small and large fires, but methanol will still burn at mixtures of up to 4 parts water and 1 part methanol. Keep fighting the fire until you are positive it is out. Stay upwind from any methanol fire due to the inhalation hazards of methanol vapors and combustion products. In summary, the safe handling of methanol is the responsibility of everybody on board. You should know the characteristics of methanol and take all possible precautions to avoid methanol spills, fire, or personal exposure. Some key things to remember while working around methanol are: store methanol in appropriate containers that are clearly labeled and secure. If a spill should occur, contain and recover it. Be cautious in approaching the fire. The flame may not be visible. Protect yourself with appropriate personal protective equipment. Eliminate ignition sources. Ensure that your cargo handling and response equipment is in good order and ready for immediate use. Handle methanol with care and know how to treat personal exposure should an incident occur. Although this video has provided a general summary of information regarding the safe handling of methanol, further information should be sought from other onboard documentation and, when desired, from visiting the Methanix website. Thank you for watching. Remember, by being aware and acting responsibly, you will be safe while working with and around methanol.